I already made my first flip before this video even started. I purchased an item on an auction for $73 and sold it for $550 in just 2 days. That's the start of this challenge. I'm starting with $100, and over the next 3 months, I'm going to see how much money I can make buying and flipping items on Facebook Marketplace, eBay, and wherever else makes sense. Every dollar gets reinvested, and everything is going to get documented. What I buy, what I pay, what I sell, and how long it takes me. The wins, the losses, all of it. I started a digital marketing business with $0. I just kept reinvesting every dollar I made until it grew to the point where someone wanted to buy me out. And within 18 months, I sold my interest in that business for just under $200,000. I started this channel to show people that it's still possible to start small, make money, and turn a side hustle into something real. This is not going to be just a flipping channel. I'll be starting other series and covering different side hustles and businesses. So if that interests you, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss when those drop. So let me take you back to where this series started. I was browsing Maxsold, one of the biggest online auction platforms across North America, and I came across this commercial toaster. I put in a bid, I won it, and with taxes and seller fees, it came out to $73.34. I was confident in this item because I found that new, it retails for over $3,000. So I knew if this works, I could make some money off of it. Now, this thing needed some work, but nothing complicated. I used some steel wool to get rid of most of the grime and then hit it with a stainless steel cleaner and polish to make it look almost new. I had all these items at home, but if I didn't, they would have cost me no more than $10. Once it looked good, I took it to an appliance store to confirm that it was fully working. Then I listed it on Facebook Marketplace for $750. I spent $5 promoting the ad so that more eyeballs would see it. And within 2 days, someone came and picked it up for $550. Now, I could have sold that toaster without doing any of the restoration work, and someone else would have probably came in, bought it, and done the restoration themselves, and I could have still made good money. So if you're not interested in restoring items, you don't have to. You can simply take things as they are and resell them. The restoration just gives you the opportunity to maximize what you can get for that product. So let's calculate the money we have after our first flip. We had $26.66 remaining from our original $100 budget. We made $550 from the first sale. We spent $5 in the ad budget, and we spent $10 in cleaning supplies. So that leaves us with $571.66. So I took that $570 and I went straight back to Maxsold. I found 2 items that I thought had some real potential. The first is a vintage cedar wardrobe. I won it for $26 and there was roughly $3.99 in taxes. It's missing a little handle, as you can see, and if I just replace that handle and do nothing else, I could probably sell it for about $75. But I'm going to spend a couple of hours sanding it and painting it so I can bring up the value before listing it, and maybe I can sell it for $125 to $150. The second item is an antique under the bed storage unit made in 1927. I paid $67 with $10.28 in taxes. This one I'm going to spend a bit more time on because I think it can go for more. But the channel is not about the restoration process itself. I'll show you what I did and what it looked like before and after, but we're not going to go too deep into the woodworking tutorials here. Between both items, after taxes and the buyer premium, the total invoice came out to $124.01. That leaves us with $447.65, and we're going to hopefully go find the next flips. So how am I actually finding these items? I'm using Maxsold to start, but auction platforms like this exist everywhere, in every city, in every country. Start with the ones that are local to you, and you can expand from there as you get more comfortable with this. Here's my strategy when I'm browsing. First, I try to look for things that I have some knowledge or experience in. If you've done some carpentry, look for furniture, for example. If you know appliances, look for other appliances. If you like clothing, look for clothing. Having that background knowledge helps you understand what the restoration involves, how long it will take, and what you can realistically sell that product for. It gives you a competitive edge. But if you don't have a specific skill set, that's fine too. You can simply look for items to flip as they are. Buy low, sell higher, no restoration needed. Second, before I bid on anything, I figure out what I think I can sell that item for. Check Facebook Marketplace and eBay to see what similar items are going for. And if it's a recognizable brand or product, I'll simply do a reverse image search to find it and quickly check the sold listings on eBay to see what people are actually paying for it, not just what people are asking for it. Once I have a rough value in mind, my target is to pay somewhere around 35 to 40% of that value. So if I think something can sell for $100, I'm going to pay $35 to $40. The lower that ratio, the better your margin. And as you do more of this, that ratio should become your threshold, that number that you won't go above when you're bidding. All right, guys, I'm just going to check out the auction page today to see if there's anything else worth bidding on. Because I have a few items that require a bit more labor-intensive restoration, I'm going to look for some items that could be flipped for a bit less work, so maybe even resell without any work needed. All right, so I found this really cool Star Wars comic in this auction that I was looking at in my town. I have no clue about comics, no clue what this could be worth. A simple way to look it up, you right click, you can search this tab with Google Lens. You're essentially reverse image searching that. It'll quickly tell you what this item is, and then you can also find some eBay listings of what this product is currently listed for. I pulled up a couple different ones. So I see one here for $150 for this copy. This one's going for $200, but clearly it's graded, so that would require some cost. And there's this copy going for 71 bucks. So it seems like the value maybe as a quick sale is $50. That is US. The bid on this current item is $9 Canadian. So with fees, it's probably about $13. That's maybe $10 US. So if I can get this item for cheap, it definitely is worth it. So I'm going to add this item to my watch list and keep an eye on it as we go. All right, I found a couple more items that I've put in my watch list that I'm gonna keep an eye on. So we've got that Star Wars comic. There's a cool PlayStation 1 that could be worth bidding on if it stays on the cheaper side. There's some things I'm interested in for myself, like this hammock, this stain and varnish lot, which could be really interesting for a lot of the flips that I plan on doing. And you can see there's a whole variety of different stains and varnishes. A couple cool storage lockers. They look pretty old. Those would definitely be worth refinishing. A chair and ottoman, which is currently going for $2. If that stays low, that could be something that could easily be purchased and sold again without doing much work. Maybe a shampoo, maybe it doesn't need it. A couple DeWalt tools. Tools, I think, sell really quickly and always in demand. And then some car ramps that I'm also interested in for myself. So we'll check on these items. They close over the next 3 days. In the next episode, you'll find out if I got any of these items and if I have managed to sell the items I have purchased in the last auction. So here's what the next 3 months look like. Every week, I'll post an update. What sold, what was bought, how much money was made, and what's next. Every dollar that comes in is going to get reinvested back into new inventory. The goal is to see how far we can take the original $100. And every week, I'll also be rating this side hustle across 7 metrics, the same ones that I use to evaluate any business that I start. The time invested, the money invested, the profit, the difficulty, the client acquisition, the upfront investments, and the scalability. 10 is always the best score, and as this series goes on, you'll be able to see how this business holds up over time and whether it's actually worth doing. I'll show everything: the sourcing, the restoration, the listing, and the selling. And if something doesn't sell, you'll see it too. If I end up overpaying for something, that's included. If you want to follow along, make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss the weekly updates. And drop a comment below if you've done any of this flipping or reselling yourself. Share your tips if you have any. And you should take a guess as to how much you think we will have at the end of this 3-month series, because whoever is the closest, I will send the original $100 to. Let's make some money together.